on WKRG News 5.
No more alcohol on Gulf Shores beaches during spring break season. It's a new ordinance that will be on the books every year. Plus, new developments in the Cameron Harrison rape case. The former Spanish Fort football star is asking for youthful offender status.
Showers and thunderstorms leave the area tonight, but will there be more rain tomorrow? I'll have your full forecast ahead.
And the first plane manufactured at the Airbus final assembly line in Mobile is almost complete. Today, we met with the crew who will perform the final test flights.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader, the news starts now.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mel Showers. Roseanne Haven has the night off. First on 5, no more alcohol on Gulf Shores beaches from now until April 17th. The City Council passed the ordinance due to poor behavior from spring breakers, many of them alcohol-related. More than 600 have been arrested since March 5th. Gulf Shores Mayor Robert Kraft says the city needs to keep its residents safe and protect the city's reputation as a family-friendly destination. Those who violate the ordinance may have to pay a $500 fine or serve up to 6 months in jail. We want to know what you think about this ordinance, so we posted a question on our website asking, do you support the Gulf Shores City Council's decision to ban alcohol during spring break? Here are the results. 60% support and 40% do not. If you have yet to participate and want to, it's not too late. Please find this web story and vote. Every opinion matters. You may remember Gulf Shores isn't the only Baldwin Beach community considering banning alcohol. Orange Beach is considering the same thing. After tonight's news out of Gulf Shores, we asked Orange Beach Mayor Tony Kennon if there were any imminent changes since earlier this week. This is what he had to say. At this point, we're not moving in that direction, but it is an option, and we will take it if we have to. We will reevaluate at the end of spring break season. Gulf Shores police aren't messing around with spring breakers. Take a look at this video. You can see a young man identified as Cameron Hetty throw a football at a police car in the distance. It's accurate and hits the target. The police department gives him a credit for the awesome throw, but he's a wanted man. An arrest warrant is out for Hetty. He's charged with harassment. Now the police are being nice and giving him an opportunity to turn himself in. A second rape has been reported in Gulf Shores this spring break season. Police say it's happened yesterday evening in the 1200 block of West Beach Boulevard. The victim is 19 years old from Texas, and the suspect is said to be 19 years old and from Texas as well. The investigation continues. Now, you may remember the first reported rape this season occurred Tuesday night in the 500 block of East Beach Boulevard. The victim is 23-year-old, and she was vacationing from Kansas. No suspects have been identified at this time. An update now in the high-profile rape case of former Spanish Fort football player Cameron Harrison. His defense team has filed for youthful offender status. If granted, Harrison's case would be sealed, and he would not have to go through a jury trial. Instead, a judge would rule directly. The Baldwin County District Attorney, Hallie Dixon, plans to fight off the motion. The date for the youthful offender hearing has not been set. You may remember the reported rape happened in October of last year at a house party in Daphne. The victim was a 16-year-old student who also attended Spanish Fort High School. The Mobile Police Department has arrested 13 people in an undercover sting. 10 women and 3 men have been arrested and charged for prostitution and related charges. As part of the operation, undercover police used Backpage.com to investigate solicitations of prostitution and other illegal activities at hotels along the Beltline. The investigation happened on March 16th. And Officer Terrence Perkins says there are other dangers associated with prostitution soliciting.
It's a threat to our community in the fact that people are gathering at a certain location for criminal enterprise, whether it's for prostitution, whether it's for drugs, whether it's to meet there to have someone to get robbed. Because the female will contact a gentleman and say, hey, let's meet at this location for the sexual activity. Well, she have no intention of doing the sexual act. She have somebody else standing there to rob him.
Police say they will continue to monitor Backpage.com as well as other websites for criminal acts. You may remember a story we did a few weeks ago on a car thief who said he worked for a local car dealership and stole a woman's car right out from under her. Well, that person, William Giddens, was arrested in Lanier County, Georgia after a high-speed chase with police in the same car that he stole in Mobile. Giddens now faces a long list of charges in 4 different states. Crews with the United States Coast Guard continue to search for a woman who has been missing since this morning. Around 5 a.m., officials say a boat capsized near the East Destin jetties. 11 people were on board. At the time, officials were told only one woman was missing. But this afternoon, the body of a deceased man was found near the crash site. The identity of the male has not been released, and crews are still searching for the original missing woman. Officials are still investigating how the crash occurred.
Rough seas, but thankfully the skies are not as rough tonight. We are just looking at moderate to heavy rainfall across the area. Not a whole lot of cloud to ground lightning. Most of that has actually been offshore. So that's some good news for us, but it does mean that driving may be a little slow around the area tonight, especially with reduced visibilities. Notice already starting to see the low clouds and fog building in, and this is going to be the same story as we go through the rest of the night, where we see that rain taper down after midnight and keep temperatures in the 60s, but because the dew points are so high, still getting a lot of humidity, and that's going to lead to the formation of fog by tomorrow morning. So that'll be out there as you travel. We'll also have the chance for more showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, but maybe not as much as we thought. I'll have more on the forecast ahead.
And thank you, Melissa. Festival organizers in Fairhope will try again tomorrow to get a full day in of the annual Arts and Crafts Festival. Gates opened at 10 o'clock this morning with thousands jamming downtown streets to look at over 300 artist displays and take in the sights and sounds of the 3-day event. But by early afternoon, the umbrellas were out, and shortly after that, organizers made the decision to shut down the festival due to safety concerns.
If it does become severe, of course, people's safety is our utmost priority, so we may close down temporarily until we get the go-ahead that it is clear and safe to get back out.
Last night, strong winds tore through the downtown area, wrecking almost 24 of the displays. Festival plans to reopen at 10 o'clock Saturday morning and run until 6 o'clock, weather permitting. In Airbus news, the first plane manufactured at the assembly line in Mobile is almost complete. The only thing left are flight tests, and today we got to meet the team of 6 who are conducting the test next week. Alan Carter reports.
These 6 men are aviation experts. Between them, thousands of flights. But they'll admit the flight they have coming up Monday feels a little bit different.
Well, this is a very, very exciting moment for us here in Airbus and in Mobile in particular, and we're absolutely delighted to be a part of it.
Captain Mark McMullins is leading the test flight, the first of many for Airbus planes built in Mobile.
This is a test drive that you wish the last car you bought had. These are designed to ensure the efficient operation of the aircraft, the comfort of our passengers and our customers, and we're building and delivering the most sophisticated fly-by-wire aircraft in the world right here in Mobile.
And as you can tell by the paint job, this one is headed to JetBlue. It's the flight crew's job to make sure everything works as it should before they hand it over.
We're going to go out to the Gulf of Mexico to some free airspace there and commence the testing. First thing we'll do when we get about 10,000 feet, we'll check the flight control system and make sure the airplane is hand flying as intended and nice and smoothly and correctly. At points throughout the flight, we'll make sure we take it up to its maximum speed. We'll slow it down to its minimum speed. We'll take it up to its maximum altitude.
The team is made up from guys from different countries and one man from the Gulf Coast.
We want it to be the best airplane we can give it, so we make sure it's tuned to as well as it can be tuned.
And maybe you'd think there'd be nerves flying something that's never been in the air before, but they say it's just the opposite.
But I wouldn't say there's a sense of trepidation at all. In fact, these planes are so reliable and so safe that it's very much just a discovery. Each one of them has their own little individual personality.
The test flight is Monday morning, a process that'll take about 3 hours. In Mobile, Alan Carter, News 5.
Airbus currently has 7 additional planes in various stages of production in Mobile. The next test flight is set for sometime next month. The United Way of Southwest Alabama is cutting back. A new CEO, 6 months on the job, is making some changes, and that started today. News 5's Ashley Knight tells you more.
Today, changes came fast for the United Way.
The revenue for 15 and 14 just did not materialize.
Clifford Grimes is the new president and CEO of United Way of Southwest Alabama.
That caused us to lay off 3 employees today.
Their staff went from 15 to 12 workers. Grimes says it's a cost savings move that will work in their favor, reducing their operating budget by 31%.
It helps us improve our cash flow and allows us to do the things we need to do to help this community.
Grimes has experience in this area. He comes from the United Way in Victoria, Texas, where he increased their campaign 42% in just 3 years. He has the same high hopes for Mobile.
We should be at that $7 million, $8 million, $9 million mark. Right now, we're at that $4 million, $4.5 million mark.
And with funding so low, they've set their goals high, considering they support 49 local nonprofits, not to mention over 100 social services programs. Grimes says they'll develop a long-range plan now, which hasn't happened since 2004.
There's a sense of urgency with which we work at. Our plan calls for a 5-year plan. If we can do certain things quicker, we push ourselves to do just that. But it will take time.
They have 15 focus groups to help with that, and they're asking the community to chime in. In Mobile, Ashley Knight, News 5.
The United Way of Southwest Alabama serves Mobile, Clark, Washington, and Choctaw counties. Well, months after the Paris terror attacks, another suspect linked to the deaths has been arrested in Brussels. The latest on the investigation coming up. And the Azalea Trail Run is only hours away. A look at the annual event that draws thousands to the port city every year.
Now through Tuesday, don't miss the Rooms to Go Anniversary Sofa Sale. The perfect time to save because every Rooms to Go sofa without exception is on sale. Get incredible savings on plush leather sofas, reclining sofas, sleeper sofas, sectionals, and fabric sofas. Any sofa you see has been reduced to a shocking low price. Remember, opportunities like this don't happen every day, so shop the Rooms to Go Anniversary Sofa Sale now through Tuesday. Every sofa is on sale.
There's a lot to see at Nissan Now. Award-winning safety, reimagined design, and premium interiors. 5 exciting new models. This is Nissan Now.
For a limited time, get up to $2,500 bonus cash on top of existing offers on select models. Get your new Nissan now. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
Returning calls from anywhere is his weakest strong point. Drivers hide their drinks when he walks by, out of fear or respect. It doesn't matter which. For Halloween, he went as his future self. Other sharks don't sleep because of him. He aims to be the most reachable lawyer in the world.
You may not always need an injury attorney, but when you do, I will personally return your call. Stay safe, my friends.
Stuck in student loan debt? Are your student loans in default? Or maybe you just can't afford high student loan payments? Call now. Discover how you can avoid or even get out of student loan default. Reduce and restructure your student loan so you can pay much less or pay nothing. This will not hurt your credit. In fact, student loan relief can help boost your credit. Call now to get lower student loan payments. To make student loans a problem of the past, call now.
McPick 2 at breakfast with the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich, sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich, medium smoothie, and medium frappe. Choose any 2 for $5.
That's for me!
Weekdays at 5 on MeTV Gulf Coast.
Come experience the excitement of the family-friendly 2016 Sonata at Palmer's Hyundai.
A developing story at this hour, a deadly plane crash in Russia. Early reports say the Fly Dubai airline crashed in the city of Rostov-on-Don, and all 55 passengers and 6 crew members on board have died. Check with News 5 this morning for the latest developments. The French president says he wants the Paris terror suspect who was captured on Friday extradited to face trial in France. The 26-year-old suspect was arrested near where he grew up in Brussels. Omar Villafranca reports.
The 4-month-long manhunt for the only Paris attacker to escape alive ended Friday. Authorities captured Salah Abdeslam during a gunfight in Brussels' Molenbeek neighborhood.
Salah Abdeslam was arrested at about 4:40 p.m.
This is believed to be Abdeslam the moment he was caught, his leg injured in the raid. Prosecutors say Abdeslam did not immediately surrender or obey orders. Police were led to him after they discovered his fingerprints during a raid on Tuesday. French President Francois Hollande says Abdeslam helped plan the November 13th Paris attacks and was in the city the night they went down. The coordinated attacks at cafes, a sports stadium, and concert hall killed 130 people. Authorities believe Abdeslam called some friends to pick him up and drive him back to Belgium undetected during the pandemonium following the Paris attacks. Hollande says it appears there were more people involved in the planning of the attacks than originally thought. Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
At least 4 others were arrested during the raid in Brussels Friday, including members of a family that helped hide the suspect. White House spokesman Josh Earnest says President Obama spoke with and congratulated the leaders of France and Belgium on the arrest.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
It's been a much quieter night than last night, with mostly just moderate to heavy rainfall across the area. Seeing some of the rain out there as we look off through the Mobile River and down towards the Mobile Bay. Also a lot of fog and low clouds. The view from Daphne, pretty similar. As you look across the Bayway, plenty of lights, and we got a little sharper image, wet roads. That was the story around most of the area. As you can see, rainfall coming down just about everywhere in some shape or form, whether it's light or heavy. That's the difference. And some of the heavy rainfall extending basically anywhere up 43 from Chrysler on in through Thomasville. And this is all kind of moving off towards the east as Beatrice, Monroeville, Evergreen all get some of that heavy rain. The other area where we've seen rain pretty much all day long, it feels like, has been along some of the coastal counties here. That's been some of the heaviest rain training across the east, so basically from Biloxi on through out towards Destin. Heavy rainfall coming down at this time, and we've noticed the trend within the past 2 days, last 48 hours. The rain bands tend to set up east-west, so that's where we find some of our high totals, but most of us coming in anywhere between an inch to maybe 3 inches of rain. There are a few places that picked up locally closer to 4 inches. But around the southeast here, you can see the bigger radar scan showing this is a pretty big system, and this system is eventually the same one that'll work up the northeast coast and possibly bring them a few inches of snow. But for us, we're waiting for this back line of rain to come through tomorrow. That is going to be our cold front. It's going to kick the rest of the rain out of here and bring us cooler, drier air for Sunday. But until then, temperatures staying in the 60s tonight, lower and mid 60s. So it's still a little bit muggy outside, and we do have those reduced visibilities already down to 3 miles in Gulfport. These numbers are going to get a lot smaller, which means visibility is going down thanks to the humidity and fog out there. Temperatures, dew point numbers, I should say, in the lower 60s. Where do we put this on our scale? As you stack it up on the comfort scale, falls in the humid category. Here's the thing, though. By Sunday, we'll have these numbers back down into the 30s. So big change for us for the end of the weekend, but we got to get there first. And we actually do dry out a little bit heading into tomorrow morning. Notice a few spotty showers. I think we could see a few showers and thunderstorms pop up during the afternoon hours as that cold front finally pushes through. But then it brings us cooler, drier air behind it. So look into tonight's forecast. A few more showers, maybe a rumble of thunder out there, and then things will clear up in the next few hours as temperatures fall into the 60s. Then for tomorrow, we do it all again with about a 60% chance of rain, and I have lowered that from our earlier newscast. So keep in mind it's a little quieter. If you're headed out to the beach tomorrow, be aware there will be some thunderstorms out there and still a moderate risk for rip currents. Moving through your extended forecast, though, the big push of dry, cooler air comes in on Sunday, and it stays with us as we head into the early part of next week. We'll see more rain chances later next week.
Thank you, Melissa. The Azalea Trail Run starts tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock downtown. The event doesn't draw the numbers it once did, but as News 5's Peter Albrecht reports, it's still a huge draw, bringing a lot of visitors and money to Mobile.
Runners began checking in at noon Friday. Many repeat participants and visitors to Mobile.
And it's just my favorite. I just love it. And the weather's usually good for it. Everybody is, really happy about the race itself.
About 4,500 total are expected to run the various distances.
We had about 1,700 registered for the 10K, about 1,200 for the 5K, and for the fun run, the registered were right about 510, 512.
Impressive numbers, but about half of when the event peaked in the 80s with just 10K runners.
The sheer volume, if you will, of the 1982 Azalea Trail Run still boggles the imagination.
More than 6,000 ran here in 1982, even more in 1984.
Over 8,000 competed in the prestigious 6.2-mile race.
The numbers have dropped over the years, primarily due to competition.
Now, this is the 39th annual Azalea Trail Run, has a great reputation, but you're still competing with other 10Ks in other towns, whether they be newer. So you have to work harder to compete for those numbers.
Runners set, and you're off. Still, the event is a major draw for Mobile, filling more than 1,000 hotel rooms with runners from across the country.
The economic impact is still substantial.
ATR Extra Special.
I think right now we're running at about 27 to 28 different states are represented, primarily from Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana.
As the run celebrates its 40th year. Peter Albrecht, News 5.
Okay, thank you, Peter. It's time now for sports. And here's Randy Patrick.
All right, what I like best about the ATR is that people aren't running with their cell phones. Wouldn't that be something if they're all looking down and running into each other? All right, they can check their phones and their email after their 10K. All right, good luck. You should be asleep by now anyway if you're running in the race tomorrow. We've got some NCAA March Madness to talk about, and we've got a record pole vault to talk about at the University of South Alabama.
Enjoy 65 acres of blooms and beauty this spring at Bellengrath Gardens and Home. Don't miss our picture-perfect azalea and rose garden bloomouts. Family time with our children's Easter egg hunt and our Easter sunrise service. Vintage automobiles at the Camellia Classic Open Car Show in April. Beautiful music at our Mother's Day Evening Garden Concert and more. For details, visit bellengrath.org or call 251-973-2217. Bellengrath Gardens and Home. Don't miss a bloomin' thing this spring.
Turn your loving on and try something crazy good. I'm all about new hot stuff. Makes me crinkle inside. Bet you never tasted flavor this big. Insane, right?
Only Rallies and Checkers is crazy enough to offer 2 huge Alaskan cod fillets boxed with fries for just $2. Reel in 2 huge beer-battered authentic Alaskan cod fillets with our famous seasoned fries and irresistible dill tartar sauce. Get hooked for just $2. Only at Rallies and Checkers.
Epic meals, epic deals.
Thanks annual March Madness sale.
Solidwood queen beds at crazy low prices.
Famous name brands at insane discounts.
Loco deals on fabulous doorbusters.
Friday and Saturday only.
At Hank's Fine Furniture.
Step up your game with Family Feud. Welcome to the family, baby.
Weekdays at 4 on WKRG News 5.
Sharpen up your spring attire. Right now at Men's Warehouse, select suits are $199.99. All shoes are 30% off. Plus buy one, get one free on more spring essentials. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
One of the biggest things that helps the employees we hire from ITT Tech is their exposure in the 3D modeling environment, because every building that we fabricate is always first modeled in 3D. So we're going to be looking at ITT Tech as one of the resources that we can bring in good talent to fill positions within our company.
Scholarships and financial aid are available for students who qualify. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web. ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future.
The Flash has gone rogue.
It was the Flash!
My wallet's gone. I don't want people thinking the Flash is a petty thief. A lady speedster. Purely scientific. Was she good looking?
Heard the Flash went nuts.
From street to freak.
Next time she punches me in the face, I'll be sure to get her number. There you go.
The Flash. All new Tuesday at 7 on the CW 55.
Now, Randy Patrick with News 5 Sports.
Well, we're finding out once again why it's called March Madness. More first-round upsets. The big one today, the first number 2 seed eliminated when the Spartans of Michigan State were upset by 15th seed Middle Tennessee State. State raced out to a 15-2 lead and never trailed in a stunning 90-81 win over the Spartans. Middle Tennessee becomes the 8th 15th seed to beat a number 2 seed in tournament history.
So much national attention, and you know, on CBS, you know, on a Friday afternoon, and when you beat a team that, you know, I did. When you started scouting them, you said there's no question it's one or 2 or 3 teams you thought for sure has a chance to win the national championship, and to do it on that kind of stage, it's a lot. It's a great day for our whole university.
And not a good day for State fans, a long weekend. Check out some of the reactions from Spartan fans after they fell to the Blue Raiders. They're singing the blues. President Obama had Michigan State advancing to the Final Four in his bracket, and he is not alone. Oh, the pain. Looks like Bernie Sanders there, didn't it? Round 2 of the tournament tips off tomorrow morning. Here's our Saturday lineup right here on WKRG. Miami and Wichita State tipping off the action just after 11. Then it's Duke versus Yale. That's right, Yale. The second doubleheader gets going just after 4. We have Kentucky versus Indiana and Kansas taking on UConn. Daphne High School has a new head coach and athletic director, and he is no stranger to the community. Kenny King's hire was approved last night by the Baldwin County School Board, and this afternoon, the King of the Eastern Shore met parents, students, and players at the school. He was a star football player at Daphne, went on to play for the Crimson Tide and in the National Football League. Now Kenny King is the new head football coach, and it's his job to mold tomorrow's stars.
Coaches before me has done a great job. Coaches that coached me has instilled in me hard work and allowed me to do what I have done, and just to come back in me to invest back into the kids here. And somebody invested in me, so for me to get back to Daphne and put my stamp on it, to invest back into some kids, and hopefully one day some young guy will be coaching at Daphne and say that Coach King coached me.
I went to high school with him. He's a great guy, great person, great character. I think he has a lot to bring to the table and to offer these kids, and uplift them and encourage them, and I think he's going to do an awesome job.
And Coach King takes over for longtime coach Glenn Vickery, who retired after a great run at Daphne High School. Sean Collins is a freshman pole vaulter at South Alabama. Last weekend, he finished second in the country in the NCAA Indoor Nationals. He's a first-team All-American today. He was competing at the Jaguar Classic. And that jump right there is a new school record in the pole vault, 17 feet. 1 1/4 inches. Take a look at it again. He learned to vault at McGill-Tulane Catholic High School. We will be keeping an eye on Sean. Great things are ahead. That is pretty far up there.
That's up there.
Need a parachute to come down.
He's very good, and thank you, Randy. We'll return with more in just a moment.
Come experience the excitement of the family-friendly 2016 Sonata at Palmer's Hyundai.
Give me my lunch money back. Where's the Alabama Hammer?
I've been standing up to bullies my whole life. Woo! Woo! I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, don't let the insurance company bully you. Call me right now.
It's J&J Furniture's biggest discounts of the year. Get 50% off everything. Then get an additional 10, 15, or 20% off, depending on the manufacturer. It's the final days. Sale ends Monday at J&J Furniture and Mattress.
Now through Tuesday, don't miss the Rooms to Go Anniversary Sofa Sale. The perfect time to save because every Rooms to Go sofa without exception is on sale. Get incredible savings on plush leather sofas, reclining sofas, sleeper sofas, sectionals, and fabric sofas. Any sofa you see has been reduced to a shocking low price. Remember, opportunities like this don't happen every day, so shop the Rooms to Go Anniversary Sofa Sale now through Tuesday. Every sofa is on sale.
One sale, 1 month. It's Toyota's one for everyone. At Palmer's Toyota Superstore, you got to see this place. With hundreds of new Toyotas on sale, we have the one for you.
Hurry to the #1 volume Toyota dealer in Mobile and drive new Tacoma double cabs for $217 a month.
$217 a month.
At Palmer's Toyota, drive Tundra Crewmaxes with leather and sunroof for $263 a month.
Come see us today at Palmer's Toyota Superstore, the family store. You got to see this place.
Casino Resort, Gulfport.
Many people mistakenly believe that injury lawsuits are just about money. They're really all about fairness. If we sue someone, it's because their insurance company wouldn't be reasonable with our client. Their adjuster either wouldn't return our calls or simply put their company's profits ahead of everyone's needs. Before you're sued by someone you hurt, call your insurance company and tell them not to play games and to settle your case. Isn't that what you paid your premiums for? I am David J. Maloney. I represent accident victims, and I will personally return your call.
Give me my lunch money back. Where's Alabama Hammer?
I've been standing up to bullies my whole life. Woo! Woo! I'm Mike Slocum, Alabama Hammer. If you've been injured in a car wreck, don't let the insurance company bully you. Call me right now.
Well, the wait is over for the Plantasia sale. The annual sale hosted by the Mobile Botanical Gardens kicked off today and runs through Sunday. There are hundreds of varieties and thousands of plants to choose from at the Mobile Botanical Gardens. And it's raining outside if you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, maybe that'll help some of those flowers grow. We still have the rain showers out there this evening, but it's kind of the last band as this moderate to heavy rainfall moves out. Things will get a little drier for a few more hours. But then here's the thing, we still have the chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, although after tomorrow evening, dry for a couple of days, get to see that sunshine once again. It'll be nice.
Well, you're right. Well, be sure to join Chad Petrie and this lady right here, Melissa Constanza, tomorrow morning beginning at 5 o'clock. Be sure to tune in. We want to thank you for watching tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Good night.